How's it going, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. So in a recent video that I just made of how, 3 simple steps on how to, achieve and make a little bit over $100,000 with my own experience, right? Just talking about my best practices. There was a comment saying, how is it that by age 18 to 19 that you're making over $50,000? Because I talk about, the importance of having a stable source of income, right? Now I wanted to make a video building off of that and kind of elaborating a little bit more, and that's specifically on the job title that I had, but something that you guys, can expose you guys to maybe something that you guys didn't know. So I'm going to talk about, I think the best ways to achieve, let's say, $50,000 when you're a full-time student and you can work part-time. So let's get to it. First and most realistic ways I feel people can make over $50,000, especially when being a full-time student and wanting a part-time position, is applying for and actually achieving a commission-based job. And what I mean by that is a job that pays you based on a certain quota that you meet or exceed. If you guys know anything like car sales, telecommunication sales, online sales, whatever it comes down to, any commission-based job that is not solely based on the amount of hours that you work, but what you actually bring to the table. So for those that don't know me, I'm a 22-year-old entrepreneur based from Gutierrez, Arizona, and what really inspired me at an early age to start working hard and save my money was my passion for cars, wanting to buy a Nissan GTR by age 19 to 20. By age 19, I had a little bit over the amount that I needed to buy a GTR, but it came down to actually buying my first investment property and then moving on over to by age 21 having my investment property and then my GTR. Now that we talked about a job that can help you, in a sense, accommodate you, achieve, that $50,000 mark, or making a little bit more money, especially under the age of like 18, or at the age of 18, I want to talk about a little bit more, creative and ways that you guys can actually make money. You guys have to understand, there's so many different ways that you guys can make money nowadays. I'm simply going to be talking about, again, by my own experience of what I was able to work on and what I was able to achieve. So from the age of 14, I started my own business. It was actually the making and selling of tech decks. It wasn't actually tech decks, but it was like wooden fingerboards, and I did that for about 3 years. On the low end, I would make about $1,000 a month. On the high end, I'd make about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And it really came down to just identifying a niche that I was somewhat interested in. I really enjoyed kind of like the passion of just making things with my hand, and then from there on, I just did it every day. It was like consistent every day that I'd come home from either my freshman year of high school. I would have my molds underneath my bed, in a sense, molding the little tech deck, take them out, sand them down, and then I would have like my little online store where people can order them. I would have them on my online store, eBay, and a series of other like local, like Craigslist, if anyone like locally wanted to pick some up. Now that was one thing that I think that kind of, in a sense, identified myself as being something somewhat different than everyone else, was my passion of actually wanting to create something out of nothing. Now another great source of income came to the buying and reselling of different products. I was making about $3,000 to $4,000 after the age of 17 by the buying and reselling of phones. And what I mean by that is I used to buy phones at a low cost and sell them for a profit. I would specialize in really just like iPhones, like 5s and 6s, and it really came down to just focusing on that specific niche of market. I sold some Samsungs, but overall I was the best, and I really understood the market with iPhones, and I made sure that that was my main focus. When it came to actually like the buying and reselling of iPhone 6s, when they just came out, I wasn't actually doing that too much already, just because I had different other sources of income, and by that time, when it comes down to opportunity cost, the value just wasn't there to actively go and buy and sell smartphones. And the reason that I'm talking about the buying and reselling of phones, it's because one of the most common markets to buy and resell are obviously vehicles, right? But realistically, for someone like many of those that are watching that might be 18 or under the age of 18, having a couple $1,000s in your bank account isn't necessarily always realistic. There's nothing wrong with that, but you guys have to understand that that's something to work towards. If you guys want to be buying and selling cars, how is it that you're going to get the $5,000 to $10,000 to be there? Well, realistically, my profit margin was around $50 to $100 per phone, and when it comes down to buying and reselling of smartphones, there's 3 main things that you have to focus on: that they're not reported lost or stolen, that, you know, there's no real physical damage on it, and that you get them at a low price. With simply focusing on those three, in a sense, just indicators when you're buying and selling smartphones, you have a really simple template, and they're very, you know, inexpensive. They're a couple hundred, if you know, 1 to 200, and then you can sell them for, you know, the $50 to $100 profit. So if you have a couple $100 saved, that might be, you know, in a sense, a market that you might want to just expose yourself to and dabble upon. You know, first you analyze the market, see, you know, the low points and the high points of, you know, what they're selling for. You know, then you, in a sense, make a bunch of offers, hoping that one fills, right? Kind of just like when we trade penny stocks. And then in doing that, you know, once you actually buy the phone, make sure that it meets all the qualifications, that it's not reported lost or stolen, that's a good quality phone, and that you can resell for a profit. It's a very simple concept, but it comes down to how disciplined and how consistent you are in doing that. You don't need a lot of capital to start out, so I think the buying and reselling of phones would be a perfect, if not ideal, market for people to expose themselves to at a very early age, so they can familiarize themselves with the actual whole concept of, you know, buying and selling. So later on, when you're buying and selling higher priced items, as in, you know, vehicles, then, you know, you're gonna know the whole basics and fundamentals of how to do it. Now, the last thing that I'm going to be talking about, again, solely just based on my experience when I was, you know, under the age of 18, it comes down to the principle of investing in penny stocks. In no way do I want to influence anyone to, you know, go and invest in a specific type of company, especially if you don't understand, you know, the fundamentals of investing. But when it comes down to how profitable investing can be, just know that you need to have money to make money, right? And I'm not here to promote any, like, you know, false get rich quick scheme. It's going to take a lot of work, but if penny stocks has ever been something that you've ever wanted to get into, then there's really no better way or no better time to actually get started. And what I mean by that is there's a thing called simulation trading. Simulation trading is paper trading, so not real money, but you get the whole real experience. So what I mean by that is if you simply, you know, go to TD Ameritrade, I'll put the link down below. You guys can sign up through TD Ameritrade. Even if you're under the age of 18, it just requires one extra step that your parents, in a sense, need to co-sign. And in doing that, now you get to, in a sense, dabble in the stock market with $200,000 of fake money, but with real stocks and real-time quotes. And in doing that, you get real experience and real exposure without any real monetary risk. What I mean by that is you're not really risking any money. It's just your time that you're dedicating to that. So if it's ever been something that you wanted to get into, there's no better time to start. A question you might be is like, well, how do I know what to trade and how to trade it, right? How do I know what to invest in? Well, I have a small group. It's TechButt Solutions. The link is always provided for you down below, and all my videos are solely based on, you know, the principles and, you know, helpful videos on how to trade penny stocks. And it's a completely free networking group. The link is provided for you down below. You simply have to have a Facebook group. Once you get accepted, there's the top pinned post. All the group chat links are provided for you right there. With that, we will have a little bit over 20,500 members now worldwide. And the thing that we do best is we provide a supportive community for those that want to get started in trading penny stocks, meaning that we educate you guys on the basics and fundamentals of trading penny stocks, but we will never tell you what to trade. And in doing that is we want to make sure you, as the investor, know why it is that you're getting in there, where you're buying, where you're selling, and where you'll cut your losses. If this doesn't really make sense, then I would, in a sense, suggest for you guys to watch a couple more of my videos when it comes to penny stocks. But I'm sure if you're willing to work hard and if you want to be different, right? The reason you're watching this video is because you want to live a different life. What I mean by that is not living paycheck to paycheck. In no way am I saying that, you know, if you trade penny stocks that you're going to become uber successful, but I can promise you the more you expose yourself and the more you surround yourself with motivated individuals, you'll see a higher chance of success. And in doing that, there's no real monetary risk when it comes to, you know, networking with us, but it just tells you how powerful a group can be when we work together. We don't tell each other what to trade. All we do is we expose each other to new opportunity, and we let us as investors make the final decision on what it is that we choose to invest in. And the only time you're going to make that decision is if you understand it on where you're going to buy, where you're going to sell, and where you're going to cut your losses. So those are the three different things that I think can help you, specifically for an individual under or at the age of 18, to make, you know, good money. And it really comes down to that. So we talked about, you know, realistically having a commission-based job that can pay you more than just your, you know, hourly wage. Second thing is, you know, starting a company and working hard towards that. when it comes to, if not, you know, not starting a company, but buying and then reselling of certain products with small capital. And then the third thing would be, you know, dabbling within the stock market. Again, there's no real monetary risk. It comes down to the time and, you know, the determination that you're willing to put forth to see if you know, make it, right? And I really think the experience and the fundamentals that you learned within our group and with the whole experience of investing is something that can really benefit you long term. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. And if there's anything that I can personally do in the sense to accommodate you in your success, again, the link is provided for you down below. The best way to reach out to me is with the TechBud Solutions group chat platform. Just DM me through that and I'd be more than happy to assist you. If you guys can like and subscribe, you know, we'd greatly appreciate it. But like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.
Don't you let it go to waste. You know we could put 'em all to shame. Now isn't the time to play it safe.